Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Perth to Paisley podcast, a podcast that isn't officially on Blue Sky, despite what Richard Cobb thinks, and is dedicated to Heart of Midlothian Football Club. In episode 181, we will chat about some news surrounding Hearts, their B team, and primarily, sadly, talk about the defeat to Celtic at Tynecastle. Joining me, Adam Kennedy, is Daniel McIver. McIver, back from the break. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm delighted to be speaking about another battering at the hands of Celtic Football Club. Can't wait. I think that is officially the earliest Richard Cobb has ever got a mention on an episode, and I include episodes that he has featured in.
Furious. I'm absolutely furious at myself. But I have to get it out there
Had to be
for
done.
those that have missed this utter nonsense. I genuinely I don't even I genuinely don't know how to explain it. I literally just I saw a notification on Blue Sky, which is just an alternative to Twitter, let's just say.
It's so much better. It's where I've lived for the last 10 days.
And I see it come from Perth to Paisley. I'm thinking, what is this? Like, what is? I haven't set one up. And do you know, I thought about setting one up, but I thought, nah, there's not enough people that have come on over yet. Well, now I've left it too late. It's entirely his doing. He said that he might give me the password. I beg that he does. Otherwise, we could be in real bother. But I would be tempted to kind of leave the timeline and the what are they? They're not tweets. The posts that he's put
Everyone
out
just
there.
still, I think everyone just still calls them tweets because technically X isn't tweets anymore.
Yeah,
So Blue
yeah, that's
Sky can
true.
take it. Tweets can be Blue
Nice.
Sky's thing.
Yeah, because they've even got the kind of butterfly emoji.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Does a butterfly go tweet? No, it doesn't.
No, but
That's that's
it's a flighted
yeah.
animal, so it's the
You
same
get
thing.
what I'm alluding to.
Can you tell we don't want to speak about the game, by the way?
I'm sorry. I'm really
I'm well on board with an hour of discussing how much of a prick Richard Cobb is for
sorry.
his antics.
Christ, only 1 hour.
I
Jesus.
know, yeah, exactly.
Could dedicate an entire series to it. But before we do chat about Celtic sweeping Hearts aside yet again, we've got a few news items to discuss
Yep.
again before we go around the grounds and potentially point our fingers and laugh at other teams, namely Hibs.
Yep.
The first of which of the news items was our eventual confirmation at the Jambos going with an analytical approach. Heart Midlothian Football Club is delighted to confirm an official agreement has been signed with world-leading football data analysis firm Jamestown Analytics. It's hardly new news, lads. The partnership sees Hearts become exclusive users of Jamestown Analytics player data analytics
I know
services in
it.
Scotland. Jesus, why does it start to sound funny? Football clubs that are clients of Jamestown Analytics have enjoyed remarkable success in addition to relationships with Brighton and Hove Albion, Royal Union San Gilloise, and Como. I didn't know that. Top
Yeah, I
flight
didn't
clubs
know
in
that
England,
either.
Belgium, and Italy, respectively. Jamestown Analytics has a number of other client clubs that are strengthening their squads and improving their performances with the help of first class data. With new sporting director Graham Jones starting his position on November the 25th, i.e., yesterday as we record, he will lead on the football department's integration of analytics into its work, which will aid not only the club's player recruitment but will also enhance opposition analysis. Speaking to the official Hearts website, CEO Andrew McKinley said there's been a lot of speculation about the coming together of, that's one way of putting it, of Heart Midlothian and Jamestown Analytics. So I'm pleased that we are now able to officially announce our partnership and get the facts out in the open. Jamestown Analytics' reputation in footballing circles is second to none. It is no understatement when I say that they have made groundbreaking progress with clubs across Europe. So to be Scotland's sole beneficiaries of their expertise is truly exciting. Already, our football staff, soon to be under the guidance of Graham, have been working with the data provided by Jamestown Analytics to plan for recruitment in January, next summer, and beyond. I fully believe that the club will reap the benefits of embracing this modern, innovative approach to analytics, and we couldn't be prouder to be associated with Jamestown Analytics as we take Hearts into a new era. That starting to sound really funny. Justin said, managing director of Jamestown Analytics said, we are very selective about the clubs we want to work with, and we feel that Hearts is a good outfit. We are looking forward to working with Graham and his team and hopefully help them to deliver success. Exciting stuff, McIver. Changing the game.
I'm buzzing. We bring the bloom. Come on. Get,
Break the bloom.
get involved. I'm buzzing. I didn't know the
Bloom,
Como
shake,
stuff.
shake the bloom.
Yes, exactly. Oh, the patter. It's going to be great. None of it will get boring at
I
all,
was
I
going to say,
promise you.
there's your title right away.
Yep, exactly. I didn't know the Como thing. So it's like
Neither did I.
every country this works in. Every club they are involved in, it works.
Which is exactly what terrifies me.
Then we come along and it's like, right, listen, it's a white. We could, speaking about Richard Cobb, we could dedicate an entire podcast to the issues that we have had just in our lifetimes with recruitment at Heart of Midlothian Football Club. Even in the last decade, since administration, the amount of players we've signed and then we've barely sold anybody for like any amount of money.
Yeah.
Like 4 players basically, and one of them is Osman So, who like shockingly went to China with 2 weeks left of his deal. So we had to change anyway. But the fact that we get to change in the most exciting way possible is amazing. I can't wait for January. I think every Hearts fan can't wait for January because of the situation on the park. But generally, it's like I can't wait for January just to see what starts to happen. Then next summer's kind of the first proper test because in a January window, it's a hard window to actually get what you need. But a summer window, it's going to be really exciting. I'm not one of them who's like, with this, we're going to now split the old firm and maybe even win a league title. But in the next 10 years, I'd like to win a cup, like just one cup. It won't be the League Cup, so it'll be the Scottish Cup. We will never win. It doesn't
That's
matter.
fine. That's fine. I'm not
I'll
all the way
take a
up for the
Scottish
League
Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll
I
take a
genuinely
Scottish
don't
Cup
care.
this season. I will gladly
Imagine.
finish 10th
Yeah,
and win the Scottish Cup
so would
without a
I.
shit. With 10 out of 12, Scottish Cup will do me.
I'd finish 11th because we'd win the playoff. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'd finish 11th, right? And get nearly relegated, but not. That's a key point.
Well, I'm just thinking the law of averages again. We've talked about the success stories. One of these Premiership teams is eventually going to fall down through these playoffs. It has to happen eventually. Don't let that be us.
Yeah.
So 10th and the cup will
Yeah.
do me.
Listen.
And then we're an even more attractive proposition for players that we found from every corner of the globe.
I've seen today, I know Hearts fans are going to jump on this, that Evan Ferguson's available on loan. We're not getting Evan Ferguson. This is what I mean.
Oh, thank God.
I'm worried that people think that's what this partnership is. Where Brighton have publicly said, yeah, in January we'd like Evan Ferguson to go on
Julio and Ciso, however.
That's different. That might, yeah. But
Come
I'm
on
worried.
down, Julio.
I'm worried Hearts fans go, well, we've not signed Evan Ferguson. What's the point in this partnership?
Yeah, I think our reputation sadly precedes us when looking to
Imagine if we did
of
sign Evan Ferguson, though.
Evan,
We'd win the league from where we currently are.
Let's all just stop a second. Let's all relax.
We'll get guys we've never heard of who will do quite well for us for
They'll
the
be written
remainder
off
of the
before they've
season.
even kicked the ball.
Yes, exactly. They'll come from a random place and folk will go, that's not Bishop Briggs.
Venezuela. Oh no,
Like, exactly.
Bishop Briggs in Venezuela.
Yeah.
There's the new title.
100%. But yes, so excited. As you say, it's really funny the way that it was presented. Like, we've got some big groundbreaking news, as if for the last 3 months we've not been sat going, is it today? Are you going to announce it today?
Hurry up.
Yeah.
I want to get on the shrooms with Tony Bloom.
Exactly. But it's officially announced now. We've got it. And I'm really, really looking forward to using it. And I know it's because I like FM and I like analytics and I like data and I like heat maps and I like seeing how a fullback turns into a halfback, then a wingback. Love you, Luke Penrice. And all that part, right? But even people like you who aren't into that are still excited by this.
Oh, listen, I'm hopeful that we can embark on a new era. I also, we've spoken about the warm-up on here, obviously, that Willie Hill do with Scottish football now. Their unfiltered episode or series, Chris Boyd talked on an episode and Gordon Duncan asked, do we think that we'll see anybody break up the old firm duopoly? Right. Chris Boyd actually said that if you'd have asked him a couple of years ago, no. However, with Jamestown Analytics, with Tony Bloom, he sees that as
really
possibly, yeah. I mean, don't get me
Well,
wrong.
that's it. That's the nail in the coffin.
I don't know how many cans of Tennent's Boyd he had before he
Yeah.
started recording, but I strange things have happened.
Have they?
No, they
No,
haven't.
they've
They haven't.
not.
I was going to say Hibs winning the Scottish Cup, but we'll poke fun at
Right.
them later on.
Yeah.
Um, Another not quite as exciting announcement. It is for the Forrester family. Heart of Midlothian is delighted to
So
announce that Adam
harsh.
Forrester, sorry, Adam, has signed a new contract, keeping him at Tynecastle Park until the summer of 2027, subject to Scottish FA approval. Currently enjoying a breakout season with the first team, the academy graduate has excelled in Maroon since signing his first professional deal with the club in the summer of 2022. A regular and former captain for the B team, Adam has racked up 8 senior appearances so far since being handed his professional debut against Ross County at Tynecastle in September. Um, Highlights: he played the full 90 minutes over Dynamo Minsk in Azerbaijan. 2 further appearances in Europe, featured in an Edinburgh derby. And Neil Critchley has said that Adam has progressed excellently this season, and we are pleased to have rewarded his development with this contract extension. We've got an exciting crop of youth who show all the qualities required to make it into the first team environment. Credit has to go to the club's academy coaching staff who helped nurture Adam's development, and of course to Liam Fox for bringing him into the first team fold. I'm very happy he signed this extension, and I look forward to working with him over the coming weeks and months as his development continues. McIver, right now for me, he's probably our first choice right back, and ultimately he has earned this with his 8 appearances thus far.
I wouldn't go as far to say his first choice because I think him and Oyegoki are very transferable. I think one of them has.
Neil Critchley is inclined to agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's basically the change that we see every other week, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Every 60 minutes, one of them comes off for the other one. I
And
think
then they'll
though,
start the following week.
yeah, exactly. It's so weird. It's such a weird. Just pick one, Neil.
So that's a point. For any listeners, has anybody ever seen anything like that between two Hearts players week
Where
to
it's
week?
so
where,
consistently
where it
they
is
just swap
literally just like for
themselves.
like what I can't think of
Yeah.
many, if any. That's maybe one for kind of listeners of a particular vintage, but sorry,
Yeah.
McIver.
I, I'm very glad he has signed it. Like that Heidenheim game is definitely his highlight because he was
Yeah, it was
amazing.
really good.
And that was the game where if you'd said then it was like he's our first choice, you couldn't have argued with it. It's like, yeah, he just looks like a first choice player. Really chuffed for him. It's good that we're keeping youngsters on long term deals because, like, from a business side, you have to imagine they're probably not on a lot compared to if you're signing a guy you're probably going to have to put a guy on a lot more money and they're improving, or even if they're not improving and they are improving in the league, there's loads of different mitigating circumstances where it's a very low risk, high reward situation with youngsters. And it's, again, we kind of mentioned it there about recruitment and stuff. Our youth academy has been horrifically bad for about a decade now. We've produced Aaron Hickey, and
To be
that's
fair,
it.
no, I was going to say Andy Irving came off the bench for West Ham last night at
Yeah,
your
but we didn't
beloved
even
St
we
James's Park, Newcastle.
by we, but what I mean by this is, I do not mean this podcast. I mean the football club clearly didn't care about him that much because they just let him go. We cared about him.
Couple hundred extra quid a week. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all my man was after. And now look at him.
exactly,
I mean, coming
exactly.
on, and I think it was pretty much 100% pass accuracy. Yeah, he
Yeah,
only played 10, but who's counting?
it doesn't matter. They all count. Yeah, our academy has been shambolic for a club
No,
our
it
size for
has.
the last decade. So it's good to get guys like Forrester who have impressed on long term deals. By all accounts, Wilson is entering negotiations about a new deal, and said he wants to stay. That's good.
That's
Yeah,
excellent news.
chuffed.
And a seamless segue because overseeing all of this academy development, Hart Midlothian is delighted to confirm the appointment of Angus Beath as the club's B team head coach, a new appointment which you only found about this evening.
Didn't know. Well done, Angus. I don't have much to say apart from it's a right shame what happened to Angus Beath in terms of his
Oh,
playing career.
terrible.
So I'm really glad we as a club have like stood by him. But then also he's clearly quite good if he's getting the B. We're not going to stand by him where we'll just be like, yeah, you can just coach the B team because we like you. Like he's clearly shown quality to do that.
Yeah, Hearts have referenced exactly that on the website, saying that he's obviously overseen B team matters in recent weeks following
Yeah.
Liam Fox's move to the first team coaching staff. He's cut his coaching teeth with younger age groups at Oriam. and at the club's Palermo Performance School while studying for a degree with the Open University. As you say, retired at 23. Now he's 28, I believe. So yeah, now he's basically he formed part of Liam Fox's temporary staff,
Yep.
and now takes the reins with Hearts be just below mid-table in the Lowland League. Angus himself said, "I'm very pleased to be given the honour and opportunity to lead the B team. I have a good relationship with the squad, having coached many of them at youth level, and that familiarity is only heightened after working closely with them this season. I feel well placed to know what it takes to make the transition from youth sides into the first team, having made that same journey myself as a
Yeah.
young player. My focus now is helping these players to reach their potential, and I will put everything into it." I love that. I love that, as you rightly said, we've stuck by him. He realizes the opportunity that he's got. And if Neil Critchley also manages to get a crop of young players that are ready kind of to perform for Hearts, and look, we're probably still a selling club at the minute that we can make good profit on, because as we're going to get into, Hearts isn't the be all and end all. But I think then he should take enormous credit for that. I don't know if that's a position that he'd want to hold for life. I would suspect not. That he might be looking for, club management and something
Yeah.
something full time. But um, a great first job for him, really,
Yeah.
in terms of his coaching career.
I'm really chuffed for him. It's a league, not a league. It's a job. It's hard in terms of as someone whose local club is in the league. There's a lot of
Indeed.
and the natural debates about B team. There's a lot of debate about the B team, particularly Hearts B team, because it calls it a question sporting integrity. Because sometimes you can have, like at the start of the season, where Hearts B team were absolutely flying because we were playing all the best youngsters. But in recent weeks, since Christians came up, all the best youngsters have been moved to the first team. So as a result, the quality of Hearts B team can fluctuate so dramatically. On one day they could win 9-0, and the next day they could get beat 9-0. So for him to come into it, I hope he's not just going, and I hope the club aren't being like, you need to finish X position in the Lowland League. I hope they're just going, we just need you to develop players well. It doesn't
I think that's what they will do. I
yeah.
don't think they can't get promoted anyway, so I don't think
No,
anybody's really
exactly.
too
Yeah.
bothered.
It doesn't matter. It's just like make players better, please, Angus, and I think you'll be able to do that.
I certainly hope so. Did you see one of the goal scorers for Crystal Palace at the
It used to
weekend?
be at
Justin Devaney was at
thingy,
Broomhill.
Broomhill. That
Broomhill
was
in the
it.
Lowland
Aye,
League.
like 2 years ago as
Wow.
well. Like it was crazy how quickly he's moved up.
Madness. And speaking of moving up to a higher level, to round off this
Oh,
news
fuck
section,
yeah, I forgot about this. Do we need
we've
to speak about it?
we've got a bit of controversy, a bit of Costa Rican controversy. Um, Kenneth Vargas had hit the headlines after suggesting that he would like to leave Hearts. Well, potentially as soon as January. The Costa Rica's obviously been a regular for Hearts this season, signed a permanent 5-year deal in March, has only 2 goals to show for his efforts this season, and had admitted to ESPN that he isn't enjoying the standard of Scottish football and wants to move to a league where he is playing against better players more regularly. I've just got a couple of key quotes here, McIver, and you can. I was going to say, oh, just give your opinion. I don't want to be too nasty,
Rumiate
but
over them.
yeah. Um, Scotland is a great place, but football-wise, they don't have such a good level. Everyone knows that. But I want to go to a better place. I can be in a comfort zone in my club. That's not nice. There's a possibility that I could leave in January. It does not depend on me. There is a clause. If a team comes and pays, I am the one who has the final say. But these things are not in my hands. The clause is there. I have no problem negotiating. Wee bit better. I have been told there are clubs interested. There is a possibility that I could leave. Thoughts?
My thoughts generally over this is that I don't really care. So at the time when it happened, because obviously it was a week or so ago now, I said to my mates, I was like, I think it's a really stupid interview to give, and he deserves Critchley inevitably going through him. But it's hard to convey tone when translating, and people are taking it in the worst way it could be read. That was what my mate said, and I was just like, that's pretty much my exact stance. Still think he could be very good, and the get him out now shouts are mental. That's kind of where I was, where it was like, listen, what he's saying there, by the way, isn't wrong. He has a release clause in his deal. It's no, that's the club put it in there.
I
Like,
thought you were going to say that football-wise, we don't have such good levels.
oh yeah, we don't. It's fucking shambolic, and it's weird that
What
it's
are you
one of those
talking
things
about?
where as long as we as fans can say it, but as soon as a player says it, it's like, no,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to say it. Like, shut the fuck up.
What do you mean? You're
Yeah.
contributing to it. What? Well,
Again,
play better then.
if he was from Bishop Briggs, maybe folk would be a lot more like fine with it. But
We Kenneth Vargas from
yeah,
Bishop Briggs.
it's I find it. When this came out, I couldn't believe the reaction it got. I think it's a stupid interview to give, considering where we are and how poorly he's been. But at the same time, I do agree
100%.
where it's like it's really hard to convey tone through a written interview. Never mind when that tone is being translated from a different language as well. And obviously, it's like what
That
all
was
his
that.
point could be is just going, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it, but like any player my age, I want to play at a higher level. Like, it's only because he's playing badly that people had an issue with it. If he was smashing it in, folk would go,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. He's got, look, that just shows the ambition that he is, and
I
that's
said
why
the
he's doing
exact
so
same thing
well.
in the Boozer at the weekend. If you had credit in the bank, I've got no problem with you wanting to leave Hearts and go and better your career. It's a short career. You want to play at the highest level possible. Cool. But when you miss the chances that he has in recent weeks at Pataudry, at Ibrox, and only then you've gone away with your country to then come out with that, obviously now he's passed it off as lost in translation, and he texted Cammy Devlin to say, I need your help here because I didn't mean any of that.
Yeah,
For me, I can see both sides of the fence. I can see why, and I was one of them. People are pissed off. But again, there's others that think he's a young lad.
yeah,
I, I was one of them. I was one of these last season that went, he is a young man coming to a cold country where people talk funny. They don't even speak in their mother tongue most of the time. It'll be freezing for him because it's not the same climate as Costa Rica. You know, when he's having to go to Livingston and Kilmarnock on these plastic pitches in the middle of the winter, he's probably thinking, what the hell have I done here? Um, I get all that. But by the same token, you could this sounds terrible. You could disrespect Hearts if you genuinely believe you're better than Hearts. Your performances have not merited that you are better and bigger than Hearts.
I would say though the difference where I have is I don't view it as disrespect. I think that's too
I think
harsh a
it is
term.
disrespectful.
I think that's too harsh a term. I think it's very, very hard for a football player to actually disrespect a club. I think you have to be fucking trying to do it. Like, I don't really think you can accidentally do it. I think that's just him being very open about the. He's maybe
Too
disrespectful.
open.
He's maybe disrespectful to Scottish football, but I would say he's
Yeah.
also right about Scottish football. So how disrespectful
But
actually
but
is it?
why is it always the shit players that come over to Scotland and disrespect Scottish football?
Because I think a large part of it is the human psyche. If you're good, you're not going to downplay the league you're doing well in. You're going to make it seem like the league you're doing amazing
I
in is
mean,
also class.
the classic case was the American at Rangers.
I don't
Oh,
remember his name.
James Sands. James
Yeah,
Sands, who was
yeah,
absolute muck. And he
yeah.
said that Scottish football was absolute muck.
And I think what that will be is on the flip side is players who are shit try to be like, well, how were you meant to be good in the league because it's so bad? So it's just players try to protect themselves. Either way, if you're absolutely flying, if you'll never hear Callum McGregor speak down Scottish football. It'll be Scottish football is a wonderful place to play in, and it just shows how good we
Yeah,
are that we're the
that's
best of
easy
it.
for him to say, though,
That's
isn't
what I
it?
mean. That's exactly what I mean. They're never going to like. They're always going to say Scottish football's great, and that's why we get to the top, and then we can use that as a platform. You'll never hear Celtic players downplaying their own achievements in the context of the game. So again, I disagree that Vargas gave that interview, and I think it is just a young guy
It's a shocker.
being
But
too
when it
open.
came out, it was not good.
I think it's just a guy speaking to his home media, and maybe he's thinking, well, the last club I was at, I didn't get many headlines out about me. I'm now at the other side of the world. He maybe just didn't think of like, oh no, wait, I'm at Hearts, where everything any one of the players say is
The angriest
massively,
fan
yeah,
base ever
exactly.
known.
I just when I saw it, and you will attest to this, I was just like, I'm not really fussed because I do understand what he's meaning. I just wouldn't have, if I was him, I wouldn't have said it. But I also do agree that I don't believe he was sat there trying to actively disrespect the club or anything like that.
Yeah. I was going to say I don't believe that, but then what I guess the case of not always believing what you read. I don't know. I'm still very much on the fence with this. And Cammy Devlin, I did speak to Cammy, and he said exactly what's obviously now come out in the papers and what he's told the press. So I was surprised that obviously his interview was quite as transparent as that. I'm
Mhm.
surprised that they've basically tried to build up the story more than what the story actually is, but it's a clickbait world, unfortunately.
That's what I mean. Look at the reaction from the fan
Yeah,
base. Of course, every journalist is going to be like, "We're quids in here. Keep fucking pumping
laughing
out."
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Um,
Kenny
however,
Vargas comes back in, and in the Boxing Day derby, scores a hat trick to beat
oh,
Hibs. Folk will be like, "Who gives a fuck, Kenny? You can leave now if you want. It's fine. Don't worry, mate. We love you."
I'll be cheering him on his move to Brighton
Exactly.
as he gets that move down
Exactly.
south.
Swap deal for Evan Ferguson. It would be great.
Before we chat about the Celtic defeat, we're going to go around the grounds in this totally muck division.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And
a
it is
Super
quite
Saturday.
shit this season.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the results were proper shit for us. A Super Saturday was not so. All six games taking place Saturday, the 23rd of November. And I think for the first time in Scottish Premiership history, all kicking off at different times when they were all, well, four of the six
I was
were
going to say they
scheduled to be at
almost
3
did.
p.m. Yeah.
It was almost that every single game kicked off at a different time, but then two of the games ended up kicking off at the exact same time. And it was like, oh, fuck off. Could you not waited 5 minutes? And then every single game was different.
Just knocked back a wee 10, 15 minutes. But
Yeah.
yes, due to the adverse weather, let's
Yeah.
say, which really wasn't.
It was
We
in some bits.
we had we had some different kickoff times. There is no greater place to open than perhaps the biggest surprise that isn't a surprise to many.
But yeah.
Um, Dundee United picking up a point at Ibrox. Sam Dalby on fire for the Terrors. 4-4 and I think 5-6.
Yeah.
Firing Dundee United ahead with a free header before Václav Cherny equalised for Philippe Clement's Rangers. How much longer we'll say that for, I do not know. Ross County eased their fears of the dreaded drop. Thanks, Motherwell. With a 2-1 victory over the Steelmen up in Dingwall. Goals coming from Ronan Hale. There's your Lawrence Shankland replacement. I was about to call him Ronan Shankland. Josh Nisbet with Zach Robinson replying for the well. And another team that had fears of the dreaded drop was St Johnstone. As former Hearts Youth Academy graduate, Mackenzie Kirk grabbed the sole goal to see off Kilmarnock in Perth. However, however, the afternoon fixtures, it does not get much better than in Paisley. Aberdeen's bubble, hopefully, finally, please let it be bursting.
Why saying this
As
now ahead of this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the home team always wins, but the Dons were defeated against St Mirren. Goals from Richard Taylor and Toyosi Olusanya, both of whom have their contracts expiring at the end of the season, I see.
Ah,
And Jamie McGrath had pulled one back against his former club, but thankfully Aberdeen tasted defeat for the first time in the league this season. And as much as we were beaten 4-1, it's another 4-1 victory for a team that I don't like just as much as I don't like Celtic, against a team that I really properly hate. Dundee, I rarely say this, but well done. Well done. I raise my cap to you as the D battered a hopeless Hibernian, demolished them in Dundee 4-1 at Dens Park. Despite the High Bees taking an early lead, they then went down to 10 men. People got raging at Ellie Yuan showboating, and then they were absolutely rubbish as Tony Docherty's side ran out deserved 4-1 winners. What did you make of the other quintet of very interesting, despite mucky, fixtures in the Scottish Premiership?
Well done, Mackenzie Kirk. Chuff for you. The result was
I'm
annoying,
not.
but
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not.
chuffed for him. I don't know if Motherwell are good. I don't know if Motherwell are good or not. I
Motherwell
don't
don't
think
know
they
if
are.
Motherwell are good.
Yeah. Um, Fair play, Don Cowie.
What a man.
The Rangers result was so predictable. It's like, of course, we're the only team to go to Ibrox and be like handedly, but we weren't because
I,
I made the
I,
point that it was like we played quite well a lot of the time. We just can't finish.
of course, they leave that space for Sam Dalby, who is literally
Yeah,
on fire, but they didn't for Lauren Shankland and
yeah.
Kenneth Fargas. Screw you.
Um, but the important games, I really was surprised that Aberdeen lost to St Mirren. I didn't think they would get beat there at all.
I was debating whether to back a draw or not.
I could have seen that.
The only two outcomes I got correct this week were Dundee winning and Celtic winning. The others, like Rangers, I thought would concede to Dundee United, but I thought they'd still find a way to win.
Yeah,
Turns out they're just hopeless.
they're just bad.
Ross County, I did not see winning in a month of Sundays.
Yeah,
Annoying. St Johnstone, I thought would probably draw with Killie at
yeah, I
McDiarmid
thought that was
Park.
going to be a draw.
That seemed muck against muck.
I don't know.
Not a good sequence of results, that.
Yeah, I we'll get to it. I don't think Aberdeen's bubble will burst this weekend, but it will now be interesting after this to
They'll go
see
back to winning
where
ways
they go.
tonight, as it stands.
Oh, of course! I forgot
Yes.
that was happening.
Update after 35 minutes. It is Hibernian nil, Aberdeen nil.
Fucking Aberdeen, go and just get the finger out and win again
Please,
tonight.
Kevin Nisbet score the winner. That
Oh,
would just be a
please.
great laugh.
The most fucking them thing ever is that they get beat off Hibs, then beat us at the
Oh,
weekend.
without a doubt.
Um,
This is sick.
but yeah, Hibs. Just mad. I was saying to you, I left the house to go to our game when it was like 10 minutes in, and I saw, oh, Hibs are running into an early lead. Oh, right, okay, well, probably get this. By the time I got to Benson's, they were 3-1 down with 10 men. And I was like, what have I fucking missed here? A lot. A Jordan Abita challenge that is the clearest red you've ever seen in real time, and Michael
Oh,
Stewart is like, no, it's not. And as he's in the explanation process, he
what
sees a
does he
replay
know?
and goes, oh, actually, yeah, it's a red card.
Yeah, what does he?
Joseph Bursick is the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen play for Hibs, and I've seen
Where
Makalambe, Zibby, and all
I was
that.
going to say,
Like,
you think he's outright the worst?
I think he's the worst. On the very short, I've not watched every Hibs game this season, but every single time I've seen him, I'm like, you are their Joe Pereira. That's who you are. You are their goalkeeper of that ilk, where you're not
I
really a goalie.
I referenced it a couple weeks, pods ago. Bad goalkeepers are detrimental to teams getting relegated from this division.
Yeah,
Mark Birighitti, Joe Pereira, Bobby Lamal, Colin Doyle.
just it was
I
so
I
bad.
hope I'm right again. That
Yeah,
would
I
be
hope.
nice.
I very much hope so. I don't think you will be, but I hope you are.
Well,
Um,
they could. They could.
they
After giving
could,
David Gray the vote of confidence,
but
but I
that's
feel
what I
like
mean.
they're going to have a U-turn on that, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll sack him when they get beat at the weekend, I think. So who have they got at the
Wow, you think it's
weekend?
going to be as quick as that?
I think if
Okay,
they
for
get
you.
beat tonight as we're speaking, and then they get beat at the weekend, yeah, I think he'll get sacked.
They are away to the good, but maybe not so good Motherwell at Fir Park.
Oh, they might win that annoyingly, because yeah, our
I
Motherwell
can't see
good.
that. I
But
think
if they do,
Motherwell will
if
beat
they
them.
get beat, if they get beat tonight and they get beat on Sunday on the back of a 4-1 loss, I think he'll get sacked. Didn't they do this with Montgomery? They released a statement, and then like 4 games later they sacked him.
No idea.
Mental. Yeah, just really funny. Like, of course, on the night where we get battered 4-1, they make it more embarrassing to get beat 4-1.
No. I remember Hibs fans throwing the Yandanda piece that got released saying, we can split the old firm. People talking about Gerald Taylor and us getting beat 3-1 away at Dundee. And then them mocking us that entire
God,
time.
yeah.
only to then lose 4-1.
I
A
forgot
player
about
sent
that.
off, and then the early Yuan stuff. He just does not give a shit about Hibernian, and to
I
me,
also,
it's incredible. It's hilarious.
speaking about the Vargas thing that got blown out of proportion, that got blown out of proportion
It did.
insanely.
It
What do you
did.
want me to
But
do?
I don't think that's his fault. I think that's David Gray and the coaching staff's fault to
That's
essentially get him in position.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like if he's not being told what to do, who gives a fuck if he's standing still or if he's doing keepy uppies? Yeah,
If anything, he's keeping
exactly.
himself warm.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Joe Newell's just standing about, just being a captain, just going, "Oh, I don't need to
he,
speak to anybody. It's
he could
fine."
be the worst Hibs captain in the past decade.
Yeah, he's bad. He's
He's
really, really bad.
terrible.
I
And
mean, I
that's your
couldn't really
leader.
name another one, but really bad. And yeah, the Ellie
God.
Yuan thing is insane,
They're
but
stinking, man.
hopefully it
We
continues.
should have
It's
beaten them
still
at Easter
it's the
Road.
worst result under Critchley. That and the Killy game, it's the worst result because we just barely tested
Yeah.
Bursic at all.
Who's hopeless.
Yeah. I love, by the way, I think this is the longest we've ever gone in an episode. We're about 40 minutes in and we've no
I
mentioned the
know.
game because there is so little to speak about in terms of like, I think we did well in the first half and then we were minging in the second.
See you next week, folks. Take
Yep.
care. Enjoy
Musa
Bruges. You
Drama,
have
though. Musa
a
Drama's here and he's
No,
class.
I mean, we'll talk about it briefly,
Yeah.
somewhat briefly, um, because there was no Hearts TV highlights. Big fan of
Yes,
that
it's
from the
fuck
club.
that.
They've posted the goals and a couple of
Yeah.
press conferences, but nah,
No.
sod your highlights. So went off sports scene instead. And yeah, we'll just chat
Yeah.
about the change and obviously the game. Neil Critchley making just one change to the Hearts team that lost by a sole goal to Rangers at Ibrox before the international break. Benny Beningame entered a midfield three with the controversial Costa Rican Kenneth Vargas making way. There was no way he was going to be handed a start after what had gone on. But the Jambos lined up as follows in a 4-3-3 formation. Craig Gordon in goal. Back four of Daniel Ugoke, Frankie Kent, Kai Rose, and James Luke Penrice. Midfield trio of Cammy Devlin, Benny Bedingame, and Malachi Boateng, with Alan Forrest and Blair Spittle supporting Lawrence Shankland. Happy with that?
Yeah, I was. Chuffed to see Benny back, especially because I thought he got hurt at Ibrox and was like, fuck,
My
he's
king.
hurt again.
What a man.
I thought Boateng kind of stole the
He
show
plays
from
when he
him.
wants. Just
He does, yeah.
Benny, what a man.
And that is very literal as well. I was just chuffed with it. I thought it made sense to go to a 4-3-3, considering Celtic's reliance on the middle of the park. So I was like, yep, putting an
Cammy
extra
Devlin
body
would
in.
always start in these type of games for
Yeah,
me.
100, fully agree. And I actually thought Devon had a really good game.
Yeah,
For
so did I.
for that exact thing of just being a little buzz bomb breaking up play. I thought he was really good at it.
Even if he's the one that's perceived to be the most forward thinking, I know he's not really, but
Yeah.
out that trio, you'd gladly let Boateng and Benny sit
Aye.
and just Cammy.
Boateng is so
you
good.
just win it back. I really like Malachi Boateng.
How did we get him for free?
How was he at Queen's Park in Dundee on loan
It's
previously?
crazy. It's
Oh my God, sorry.
Hibs are winning. Hibs are beating
Yes, they
Aberdeen.
are. Joe Newell's deflected effort beats them.
After we've literally 2 minutes ago, we're like, Joe Neal's the shittest person in the world.
Oh, that just sums up my work.
Amazing.
It really does.
Amazing.
That just sums up my life.
Great.
Oh,
There's
dear.
almost a part of me that wants Hibs to win
No,
just to see what
no,
happens. Just
never,
out of
no.
like proper Schadenfreude, or just like what happens there. But no, obviously, I now hope it's
Absolutely
5-1
Oh my God,
Aberdeen.
as it stands, we're going bottom of the league.
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? As it's like, yeah, that's what's going to fucking happen. There's no way, by the way, Aberdeen lose 3 in the bounce if they get beat tonight. There is no chance at all that happens. But to go back to our game, first half, as we're saying about Devlin and
so
Boateng,
depressed now.
we were we were very, very good in that first half, and it was mainly exemplified by James Luke Penrice because he's just amazing.
Oh,
he's now
he
missing
is.
because of fucking referees. He's missing for Sunday, but was it Steve
What a
McLean?
player.
But
Yes,
he's just phenomenal, and it really annoys me he's
I
not got more
love him.
assists
I
because
love him.
Shankland's shit this season. He's good at everything. He's good at literally everything.
That's a great way of putting it. Um, Wanted to talk about the bench as well.
Hmm.
Who was on there? Xander Clark, Stephen Kingsley, Craig Halkett, George Grant, Jan Danda, James Wilson, Adam Forrester, Musa Drame, and Kenneth Vargas. Two interesting omissions, perhaps. Obviously, we've learnt that it's through injury with Barry Mackay and Liam Boyce joining Callum Neuenhoff and Utara Oda on the treatment table. But Mackay and Boyce have pretty much been told that they can leave
Yep.
anyway. So, is this the last that we've seen of those two?
Most likely, yeah. I'll be sad about one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
it
just
is sad.
I'm very glad that Neil Critchard's clearly looked at Barry Mackay and went, "Yep, you're all right, Barry. You're fine, mate. You can go." Um, yeah, that
It's
was
lack of
interesting.
application, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
for the way that he wants to play, it could not be more anti Barry Mackay.
yeah, exactly. So I'm absolutely fine with that.
Um, you mentioned Luke Penrice there.
Yeah,
It was one of only two chances really in the first half that he's at the heart of. The first comes after just a few minutes. The crowd are up for it straight away. They see Hearts looking to press, and Malachi Boateng concedes a throw from a Cameron Carter Vickers clearance. Alistair Johnston takes the throw, plays a short one too, but concedes possession to Benny Beningame, who, as you said, great to see him back in the heart of the midfield. My Congolese king finds Luke Penrice, who sends it back towards Kai Rolls. The Aussie then goes long in search of Lauren Shankland. Our number nine heads wide to Blair Spittle, who gathers before he flicks back inside to our star striker. A cushioned header sets our top scorer through on goal, but he opts to shoot first time. I don't think he's aware of how much time he's actually got because Alistair Johnston is pretty much sleeping at the back post.
yeah.
I think he could take a touch, but he seems adamant to kind of get his shot away.
That you're probably right. That probably is what exactly what he's thinking. I thought Shankland had a really poor first. I thought he was one of our weakest players in a good first half. Um, I
Which says it all when we're going back to front, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. And like I saw a stat. Hold on, I'll find it. It was like I saw some people being like, "Oh no, his hold up play and stuff like that was actually really good." And normally that is a thing that I focus on. But the player fact about Shankland is that he lost the most amount of duels in the match out of anybody
Well,
in terms of eight. His pass accuracy was below 75%. His shot accuracy was half. But then in terms of ground duels won, he won two, 29%. And aerial duels won, he won two as well out of five, 40%. I just thought overall he had a really poor game. And just, I know people are like, but what's the solution? We're fucked either way. But as I've said,
well,
I'm like, the season's a bust anyway. So if the point is that like Critchley, the system he's wanting to play is fast, moving, proactive football, dropping Shankland in replace for somebody, we're probably not going to get results anyway. So why wouldn't we just put somebody in who fits the system better? And yes, it's off one goal, but Musa Drama has now got technically 5 goals this season if you include bounce games in the week.
listen, the same amount as Lauren Shankland in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Just
he's only ever
start
featured
Musa.
against Celtic and Rangers.
It's
So
unbelievable. He only
uh,
plays against the old firm.
it's so weird. You mentioned Lauren Shanklin there. He passes up a glorious chance in what was one of only two real opportunities for his first half. Like I say, Daniel Oyugoke receives from Frankie Kent, advances before a 1-2 with Lauren Shanklin. The right back heels into Alan Forrest's path before again he sends it back out. Oyugoke then crosses. Alistair Johnston heads clear. Malachi Boateng races over to keep it in play. And this was lovely. He frees James Luke Penrice
There we
down the
go.
left hand side. A lovely first touch from Luke before he pulls back for Lauren Shankland. As you said, should have a number of assists, and he passes up another one here because Shankland diverts his effort wide of the mark as he actually looked to keep up a decent recent scoring record against Celtic.
How
But
does he not even hit the
that's
target?
he's got to hit the target or work the goalkeeper. Has
So,
to.
so bad. So bad. And it's like, if you don't take those chances against Celtic, that's it. You're not getting any points.
Because somehow, remarkably, we got to half time at 0-0.
Yeah. And listen, we were really good. Everybody played what I would say, apart from Shankland, but generally, as a team, we played really well. Now, just say we were terrible in the second half. Just say the goals because we were fucking awful in the second half.
Because, yeah, whatever Brendan Rodgers had said at halftime had clearly got his players to up the ante. Kyogo tests Craig Gordon on 50 minutes as Scotland's number one produces an excellent reaction stop to deny
Oh
Kyogo
God, yeah.
Furuhashi from close range. However, just 5 minutes later, and Celtic's number 8 would grab the opening goal. In the midst of a goal-mouth stramash, Daniel Oyugoki's attempted clearance is blocked by Callum McGregor. Dyson Maeda frees the ball to Kyogo in space at the back post. Two bites of the cherry, slots Celtic in front with his second shot at goal. A really shitty, annoying, ricochet heavy goal to concede, McIver.
Yeah, and it's like the magic three when you're playing the old firm. You need to be great, they need to be rubbish, you need to get a bit of luck. We were great in the first half, they were rubbish, but we didn't have the luck. And unless you have all those things, you're never going to beat them. And they had the luck in that moment. Generally, Craig Gordon did not deserve to concede four because he had such a good game overall.
No, and listen, we were hit with a sucker punch. Celtic would double their advantage not long after. A classic counter-attack that ultimately catches Hart snoozing. James Penrice's free kick is flicked on by Frankie Kent, which Callum McGregor then leaves for Carter Vickers to boot clear. Dyson Maeda nods on for fellow winger Nicholas Kuhn to chase. The German and the Japanese forwards link up. A 1-2, pulls Penrice into the middle. Maeda returns out to the left-hand side. Nicholas Kuhn slams home, beats Craig Gordon at his near post. 2-0, and it was essentially good night Vienna.
Yeah, we just hadn't really touched the ball.
So annoying because
Yeah,
this is why they're streets ahead of everybody in this
yeah.
division. The pace that they've got on the counter is frightening. It sort of reminded me weirdly of a goal. I think it was Neil Lennon's first game back in charge, the opening goal in that 2-1 defeat. I think it was Oliver Burke and James Forrest, if my memory
All
serves
right.
me. Celtic always have pace in the wide areas,
Yeah,
but Maida and Kuhn are
it's
rapid.
ridiculous. Kuhn's
I
so good.
That could be the quickest duo that I can remember coming up against
Yeah.
for a Scottish team because the two of them are just electric.
It was just very similar to. It was at this point I started thinking how similar it was to Heidenheim. But it's like we've
Yeah,
been the better team here. We've not taken our chances. They get two
it's just
chances and
a
go
cut
2 0
above.
up. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I that being said, Celtic very nearly scored an own goal as one right back connects with another. Anthony Ralston on as a sub for Alistair Johnston. Knees onto his own crossbar from Daniel Oyugoki's cross. Kasper Schmeichel eventually prevents his own right back from putting Hearts right back in it. And on 76 minutes, Kenneth Vargas does well to put Austin Trusty under pressure. We really should get right back in it here. The Americans intercepted. Lauren Shankland then tees up Cammy Devlin. The goal is Wake, but Celtic make amends to somehow clear their lines.
Why is he
Annoying.
passing that to Cammy Devlin? Turn and hit it. You're Lawrence Shankland. That was it for me.
That
It was that
is a
moment.
confident, shy Lauren Shankland goal,
Yeah,
mate.
when I was like, but that's what I mean. I was like, right, he cannot keep playing because there's no point now keeping him on the pitch to be like, oh, well, he might score. No, he won't. If he's not just turning and hitting and going, I know who's a better option, Cammy Devlin, then what hope have we got? And I love you, Cammy, but you're not a goal scorer.
Apart from in Europe.
Yes, we won there in Europe. There was no deflections to be had. It's like Shankland had time to turn and hit that, and he didn't.
Yeah, straight. I don't think it's the best ball. I just what's happened to Lawrence Shankland, man?
Yeah,
Like, why? Is this the universe kind of evening itself out? Like
probably.
Hearts don't have the league's top scorer ever,
Yeah,
and they basically have for as well. They did last year, and he was excellent the year before. It's
yeah.
like no, you've that. Let's not take the piss here. One season too many, and now he's back to being like countless other Hearts huddies that we've seen
He's
up
got
front
one
as a
goal in
sole striker.
18
Like
this season. That's on that. How can you keep playing
And
that?
and he wants to leave. Like,
Yeah,
what was the timing of that piece as well?
yeah.
Like, the
Again,
club captain, like,
I think that
oh.
got a bit clickbaity to fuck as well.
Oh, of course it did, and it's nothing. It's nothing we don't already know. But it's like, have
Yeah.
you really got to release this now? Really?
But
You couldn't have done this alongside the Vargas piece
but
during the international break when you just had a fucking fortnight off.
right now my response is okay, you're not gonna get a bigger club than us. If you think 1 in
Yeah,
18 is enough to go, fine. Go for it.
14,000 Great British pounds a week he supposedly wanted. My goodness.
Crazy.
Um, Up the other end, Hearts would be yet again punished. Austin Trusty finds James Forrest out the left flank. Paulo Bernardo, I mean, this is the type of player that they bring off the bench. And Rio Hatate, both involved before Bernardo slips past Rolls like he's not even there. Squares for Adamida, another substitute fresh off the bench. And the £9.5 million Irishman slots home from close range, despite Gordon's best efforts to keep it out. Um, they've just got a lot of ammunition and armory.
They have a guy, they brought on a guy worth more than our team. So it's like, okay, we're probably not winning this, guys.
However, we did pull one back into the final 10
And
minutes.
it's
Great work.
such a good goal.
It's great work from Vargas as well,
It
to be
is.
fair.
He gets an
This
assist.
this
Another
is
goal contribution there for Vargas.
this possesses Adamida after Benny Beningame also looking to apply the pressure. The fact that Benny Beningame stayed this long on the park is
I
a
couldn't
massive
believe it.
is a victory for me. Um, and substitute Musa Drama drifts forward before unleashing a rocket from range that just sails beyond the reach of Casper Schmeichel. It's like your first Hearts goal at Tynecastle against Celtic and a legendary goalkeeper cannot get near your effort. Like,
No,
what have we done? We're in November. What have we been doing since August and July?
honestly, right? See if he's been the answer this whole time. I'm going to find Stephen Naismith and do things
What
to
about when
him.
he came out on Sportscene and said, "Oh yeah, that's his best attributes: his pace and his finishing."
It's like, well then, Stephen, why didn't you play when we scored no goals under you? And then it led to you no longer being employed.
I can't believe he came out with that.
Right. Oh
Oh,
yeah, because you know those strikers that you want to do everything else except have pace and finish. I want my strikers to be really good in a wing back role as well. Maybe
maybe
that's what this is what I mean. Blair Spittle's playing a DM and he's looking at strikers going, they go, fuck that you're fast and can finish. I want you to be getting it here defensively.
it might be, a couple of key factors as to why you brought him to the club in the first place.
Genuinely, I'll obviously be
Oh,
buzzing if it is this
imagine he
magical
goes on
thing.
some rad streak
Yeah,
from
where
now.
it is just like we start playing them
Just
and
sail up the league and
he
Musso's
scores
banging them in week to week.
he scores 5 and 5 and we're like, oh my god, this is amazing. But I will get more and more angry because it's like we might have got third if we just started this guy the whole fucking time. Now listen, I'm fully
It's like,
prepared that he's going to be shite and not score in the next 5 games that he plays.
oh,
But we're right now on the 26th of November. All this guy has done is come on and play against the old firm, look good every time,
missed two
score
good chances,
hunters.
mind.
Yeah, but understandable
What's
considering he's no
wrong
played.
with it?
Skoda Raker and apparently in bounce games is last season's Lawrence Shankland, and all managers are just like, nah, he's no getting in.
He must be absolutely dog shit in training. Like
But
proper
Critchley then
shit.
came out and
So,
said he's been fantastic in training, so I've rewarded him. I'm like, see if I think just Naismith
yeah,
just
only
went,
because
oh
previously he's
shit,
obviously been honking and not bothered his arse.
yeah,
I
but
don't know.
maybe not.
I'm thinking about the Wario meme where it's like I've won, but at what
Yeah,
cost? And that'll literally
exactly.
be
Yeah.
you.
Honest to God, I'll be like celebrating but stone faced, like jumping up and down, but no emotion on my face as it's like,
Angry celebrations.
oh God,
Oh,
Adam, imagine if he's really good.
oh, that's so funny.
Imagine if he starts on Thursday and scores,
Oh,
and then starts at Aberdeen and scores, and every Hearts fan is sat going,
oh,
what happened?
oh, that would be incredible.
Then we conceded a
Um,
shite penalty because George Grant inexplicably keeps coming on this fucking part.
that's fine by me. I'm happy to go with that. I have no further comment on George Grant. Full
Yep.
time, Heart and Midlothian 1, Celtic 4. A game that won't define our season.
Nah,
A performance that was all right first half,
I think very
just
good first half.
tailed off second half because we're
Yeah,
just not there mentally or physically. Um, but it'll come. Two massive games
yeah.
this week. First, the Jambos take on Belgian outfit Cercle Bruges. Is it Circle or Cercle?
I thought it
Cercle.
was Cercla. Yeah, I thought it was Cercla Bruges.
Cercle we will go with. In Belgium, they edged past Kilmarnock 2-1 on aggregate in Europa Conference League qualification, drawing one each at Rugby Park before a sole goal was enough to see off Killian Bruges. How are you feeling going into this match? Because again, on Sunday, we host Aberdeen at Tynecastle. The home team always wins this game. We were hard done by up at Pittodrie in October under Liam Fox's guidance, though. What are you thinking ahead of these two games? Which one would you rather win? Which do you think they were going to win either? What's your thoughts?
I'd rather beat Aberdeen
I think I
easily
would too.
because I have no expectation of beating Cercle Bruges, and we have the
I think we
backup.
can. I think we
Well,
can beat Cercle
they've
Bruges.
not won in three. They seem to be in a bit of a not great position off the pitch as well, like selling really good players and signing them, but then being unable to play them in these competitions as a
That'll
result,
do me.
stuff like that. But their squad is worth like 60 million or
I'm
something like
not buying
that.
into this though. We said the same about Pilsen and they were stinky.
I know, but more often than not, squad worth is a good. There is obviously changes.
It's almost like this Manchester City team have lost four on the spin, but lo and behold, they've actually got some good players. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like there is always going to be mitigating factors, but like,
you don't say that a squad that is perceived to be worth millions and
yeah,
millions
it's bad.
will be vastly better than ours.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
I think we'll get beat.
Where we were picking up free transfers from Livingston,
Yeah.
Motherwell, and Ross County.
We're like, well, let's take on the 60 million pound boys. It's fine. um, I think we will get beat. I don't think it's a like accepted fact. I think we could go and win. I don't think we will. And I do think there will be an aspect of the players thinking, we've got Petrofac at home, it's fine. Aberd,
Petrofac, Petrofac.
I know, but I just call them Petrofac because that's how I remember it. I think they'll be thinking that. There'll be a part of them. Most of their brain will be like, we need to win this game. But there'll be a tiny part of their brain be like, well, fucking win at Tynecastle before Christmas. It's fine. Aberdeen is like huge, and especially as they're currently getting beat, is a huge game.
Oh, don't.
And
Hibs have
however,
taken the lead in countless games, though, to be fair. So look at where they are. So it wouldn't
true,
surprise me if it was a double, a late double from Kevin Nisbet for Aberdeen.
I will say, I do think Hibs, I'm just going to put them in it. I think Hibs are going to win that game tonight. I think they're going to do it. So
I,
hopefully I've jinxed them. But I think they
I
will
was
do
going to
it.
say, we were discussing it amongst kind of Hearts fans, Celtic fans, Hibs fans. The Hibs fans were feeling the least confident out of everybody that Hibs would actually get a result tonight. I
Yeah,
thought Aberdeen would win, so what do I know?
we'll see. I think we'll get beat by Aberdeen. But for me, it is more like, right, we've got over this hard run of games. Yeah, we've not picked up any points, but fine. Now we can start doing something. So let's just get this week over with, is my stance. I think we'll get beat 3-1 on Thursday and 2-0 on Sunday.
I think both games are going to end by the same scoreline.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to get beat. I'm not so sure that we could win. I think they're both going to be one each draws.
I
What do you
would
think?
take that in both those games.
I don't think a point away in Europe is a good result.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to beat Aberdeen.
The most us thing would be that this Aberdeen team stops the trend of the home team always
Oh,
wins.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
That would be really, really annoying. But we have got favourable fixtures coming up.
Yep.
I think if we look at both in Europe and
And
in the league.
domestically,
So
yeah.
I think we get through these two, regroup, and just go again and see where it takes us.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
I'm aware that we've basically hit the hour mark, but before we go, the end of
Smash
the year
this.
quiz, as we always do. Yeah, I've actually done all right for once.
Yeah, it's good timing.
Amazing what happens when you don't focus on the game that you've just
Yeah,
played.
exactly. We've got loads of other shit to deal with.
Um, 5 questions. You have a really tough opener, a true or false, two multiple choices,
That means
And of
they're
course,
shite and all.
the dreaded Who Am I? We start with the toughie.
Right.
Hearts blew the chance to win back-to-back games at Tynecastle against Celtic since 2006 under Valdas Ivanauskas.
Wow.
What were the scores in that duo of matches?
Jesus Christ. I have no idea. I'm going to say 1-0 and 3-1.
A 3-0 win in April
Uh,
2006.
right.
Stephen McManus own goal, Paul Hartley and Roman Bednar was succeeded with a 2-1 victory in August 2006. Roman Bednar brace.
I was
What
going to
a
say,
man.
I remember Bednar scoring. I just couldn't remember how many he'd
Oh,
scored
what a
and in what
guy.
games.
What a player. What a hero.
Yeah,
Tough one.
that
But
is
hopefully
insane.
they get more favourable now. I couldn't believe that stat. I mean,
That's mad.
obviously it was going to be a while, but 2006.
Yeah.
Jesus. The fact that we hadn't played them, can I just say, at Tynecastle since the 2-0 win,
It's
it blew
crazy.
my mind.
Yeah,
That feels like a lifetime
yeah,
ago, that game.
it genuinely feels like a different
We've
squad.
played them twice at Parkhead since, haven't scored, and I don't think Lauren Shankland has scored since that game.
No,
Like,
exactly. Yeah,
mental.
that's crazy.
Um, True or false? Musa Drama's consolation is the first goal that Celtic have conceded away from home in the league this season.
I know nothing about Celtic.
Well,
Who would they have conceded to? Did they concede at Killy?
they played them before the break.
No, it was 2-0. I'm going to say that's true just because I want it to be true. No.
Sadly, it's false, Daniel
Who did
McKayla.
they concede to?
Ross County.
Oh,
Ronan
of
Hale
course, Ronan Hales
fired them in
scored.
front.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Aidan Denham
before they came from
celebrates
behind.
with him.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
fuck.
who I want in January, please, Mr. Bloom. Thank you.
Yeah,
And let's relegate
fuck.
Ross County and save us in the process. Question number 3. Who scored Kilmarnock's goal against Hearts' midweek opponents, Cercle Bruges, as Kelly held the Belgians one each at Rugby Park? Was it A,
No.
Danny Armstrong, B, Brad Lyons, C, Marley Watkins, or D, David Watson?
Just because I know he's good. I was going to say Danny Armstrong. I forgot it was multiple choice, so I was about to just say Danny Armstrong. So I feel like it's going to be him. But David Watson's good. And he randomly scores. So I'm going
I
David
like David
Watson.
Watson. I like David Watson. He does randomly score, and he randomly scored against Cercle Bruges. Very good,
Yes,
McIver.
I'm not getting a zero. It's all I care about.
You saved yourself here.
I've still never done it. It's genuinely, as
That's
each
so
episode goes
annoying.
on,
So
it's
annoying.
all I care about.
I'm genuinely just going to have to make the most impossible quiz and just no multiple choices or nothing.
Name the starting 11 of our 9th ever game. It's the only question.
So you're 1 from 3. You've saved yourself here.
Yeah.
You are going to have to rewind the clock for this next
Oh,
one.
fucking hell.
Not quite as far as 2006 under Valdas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's 1874.
No.
I was like, fucking hell.
Celtic missed out on the chance to beat Hearts for 3 league matches in a row without conceding for the first time since May 2017. But whose goal broke the Jambos' drought back then? Was it A, Arno Djoum, B, Prince Boabin, C, Ismail Goncalves, or D, Kyle Lafferty?
I only remember Lafferty scoring against Celtic.
Okay.
But is that way too obvious an answer?
Perhaps.
I don't remember. Is the implication there that we still lost the game but scored?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember Lafferty scoring in a game we lost to Celtic. I just remember him scoring in those 2 games that we beat them in. So I'm going to say Buabin for a laugh.
I like your logic,
Thank you.
but it's sadly wrong.
Okay.
The answer is Isma Goncalves.
Oh, so I would have been wrong. I was never going to pick Isma, so that's fine.
A 4-1 defeat at Parkhead after a Lee Griffiths brace, Scott Sinclair and Callum McGregor with the goals.
I don't remember that at all. Was it a penalty?
Neither do I vaguely remember him scoring, but I could not have told you the other
Nah.
goal scorers in that game.
No
Uh,
fucking
so, so
mention
there
of
you
that.
go.
That was hell. That was horrible. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I go down these weird tangents. See when you've got like 2 weeks and you just
Yeah,
think of
that's
something,
fair.
you think of
Yeah,
something random, and I look at stats and I'm just like, yeah, that'll do.
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Your
didn't get
who am I?
zero. It's all I care about.
Exactly. Your who am I is really random.
All right,
So
as opposed to the usual
I'm glad
Fitzroy
you.
Simpson.
Let's get into it. I'm glad you've been able to let that go.
Yeah,
Um,
never will.
I haven't played my league football outside of the UK, having played for two Tayside teams and both Edinburgh clubs. Winning the Scottish Cup is the most noteworthy major honour of my career, and I was signed by a Hearts legend from the first club of my career in the Scottish Third Division for the club that I won it with. I played just 9 matches for the Jambos, failing to score before swapping them for another Scottish club, and I'm still playing, albeit at non-league level and at the age of 37. Who am I?
Bloody hell.
Getting this
Okay.
man's Wikipedia up because it's a random one.
Sorry, what was the first clue about Tayside clubs?
Uh, I haven't played my league football outside of the UK, having played for two Tayside teams and both Edinburgh clubs.
The problem is that doesn't explain an exclusivity. So you might have played for other Scottish clubs, but you've just weirdly mentioned two Tayside and two Edinburgh.
That's sort of what the purpose of the game is, McIver.
When you were going through it, my fucking brain just wanted Dennis Winus, but I think we've done Dennis Winus, and also he definitely played more than 9 games for us.
I was gonna say I thought you loved Dennis
I
Winus,
I
and
do love Dennis Winus.
I feel like you've given me Dennis
I
Winus.
think I have.
Episode
So,
109, Dennis
wow.
Winus.
By the way, I've just seen Kevin Nisbet's been brought off at halftime, so
Oh dear.
your dream can't happen.
Do you know what? A Hibs mate of mine stuck £100 on Kevin Nisbet first goal because he was adamant that it was going to happen. So it's a
Jesus.
sore one. But if they get 3 points, I don't think he'll be that bothered.
Right.
I
Th-
looking
There's
back, I
two.
think I might have given you Dennis Winus.
That does ring a bell because I remember being like,
Yeah,
I love Dennis
yeah.
Winus, so I'm glad I got that. Right. I've narrowed it down. It'll either be a signing for Jet or a signing for Lock, but then Lock didn't make signings, so it must be a Jet appointment. So we're around that era. Who would
Do
we
you
have
want?
signed?
Do you
Wait,
want the clue?
why?
Do you want the clues again?
Yeah.
Winning the Scottish Cup is the most noteworthy major honour of my career, and I was signed by a Hearts legend for the club I won it with. This was from the first club of his career in the Scottish Third Division. I can't let you make this mistake. I'm trying to help you out here.
Wait, I
I'm a
don't
nice
even.
guy.
I now don't understand what that clue means. Does that mean he won the Scottish Cup at Hearts, or is that not what the clue says? The clue just says that he won
He
the
was
Scottish
signed
Cup.
by a Hearts legend for the club he won the Scottish Cup with.
Oh, right. Okay, get you now. So is that at Kill? Did Jeffrey sign him at Killy? Did Killy win the Scottish Cup? I have no. I don't know who else have won the Scottish Cup, Adam. We've been through this. I only know about Hearts up until about 2020. St Johnston won it, but that was with Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright isn't a Hearts legend. Um,
Neither's Callum Davidson, for what it's worth.
True. Between what years did this man play for Hearts? I need to narrow this down some way.
This man played for Hearts between 2015 and 2016.
Oh, I should get this. 9 games. And he's won the Scottish Cup and he only played
Yes, he
nine
has.
games.
Mhm.
How bad was he? We were quite good that season. Robbie Muirhead played more than 9 games and has not won the Scottish Cup. So he also played for us in that next season, then Nielsen took him.
Remembered.
That double against Rangers. Nielsen's last
What a
game.
night that was.
That was
brilliant.
class.
James
I
Tavernier
have
snoozing twice.
I have no idea who this is. I have
That's
not
good.
even an inkling of who it could be. I feel like I want to ask the nationality, but I feel like that's really stupid. Because if you say Scottish and it's like he fucking played for loads of Tayside clubs, I'll be raging that I've wasted the nationality. But I could. But if you say something mad, I could get it. I'm not going to ask the clubs because I don't pay. As I've said, I don't pay attention. Wait,
Okay.
what was the? He played for us and Hibs, Or is it us in like Edinburgh City, Spartans or something?
And both Edinburgh clubs.
And both Edinburgh clubs is also, but is it Faisal Reyes or however the fuck it is? He didn't win the Scottish Cup. Jesus. Um,
If he did, we should consider scrapping the Scottish Cup.
who has played for us and Hibs? It's not Adam Eckersley because he was the season before and was really good. It's not. Why am I just thinking of left backs?
I did like Adam Eckersley, actually.
I like Adam Eckersley a lot as well. He was a very solid left back in that
We
one
we
season.
went through a stage where we had dross left backs, then really good left backs.
Yeah,
Then we went back to dross, and now we're back to really good.
yeah.
It's nice.
The problem is, this is one of them where I don't even have a name. So it's like, I need to say somebody. I know I've got another question. I'm not going to ask the clubs because I don't care. Do I remember positions from that time? Do I ask a position? Is it somebody? It's not going to be like Rory Curry. He didn't sign for us. He came through the academy. It's not going to be Angus Beef. He came through the academy and has not won the Scottish Cup. What position did this player play in?
This position, according to this man's Wikipedia, was an attacking midfielder.
I have absolutely no idea. That was like one of the two positions I hope he didn't say. I was like,
What was the other one? Striker.
don't say a 10 or like a CDM because it'll just be Perry Kitchen that I'm going to say, and he didn't play for the Tayside clubs or win the Scottish Cup.
Certainly didn't play for Hibs either.
Yeah, exactly. Who played for Hibs and is a 10? It's not Ryan Gold. He did play for Hibs and is a 10, but he didn't play for us.
I know that was mental, actually.
He did nothing at Hibs.
It's just out of circumstances, mate. Just
Yeah.
that environment. You know, a player of that caliber can't be suffocated like that.
Think of a player at this time, and we're just going to say his name. I can't think of anyone else who played for Hibs. I can't think of anybody who was a 10. I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody that was a 10 outside of Walker, Nicholson, King at that time. And none of them have played for Hibs. As a point. Who can I say? I don't know anybody that's won the Scottish Cup. I've no idea why he's in my head because he played for us 2 seasons ago. But it's you mentioned Tayside and stuff like that. So he's currently in hospital just now, so God love him. Scott Fraser, come on down. That's my guess. So I don't have a guess. So I'm guessing Scott Fraser.
This man was a former Dundee United midfielder, McIver. It's
Well,
not
hey.
Scott Fraser, I should specify.
No.
It is, in fact, Danny Swanson.
Danny Swanson was not an attacking midfielder, Wikipedia.
Yes, he was.
He was a wide player. I think of him as a wide player. Yes.
Not a chance.
Yes, I think of Danny Swanson as like a right winger.
Well,
That's shocking. I mean, I'm
You
glad
would
I
have got
forgot him. I'm very,
yeah.
very
It's
glad I forgot
very
him.
forgettable that he played for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dundee United legend. That's where he won the Scottish Cup, and he was signed by Craig Levein.
Danny Swanson on Football Manager plays as a left-sided winger. So
I remember him in the pocket, but
Nah.
you.
fuck Danny Swanson. Hate him.
Do you know why he popped into my head? The Masters
No.
was on recently, and up in Aberdeen, and obviously it was Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, and Dundee United. I heard people discussing it, and they said that Danny Swanson was the best player by a mile, but he's still playing. He plays for Cowdenbeath in the Lone League.
Danny Swanson only played 9 games for us.
Yeah, according to London Hearts. I went on his Wikipedia. It certainly felt like he played more than 8 times.
He
for
was
us on his
so
wiki.
bad, it's ingrained into my head. So how bad was he in those 9 games that I've... It felt like he was asked for a season and he
I
played
know,
like
I know.
30
He
games.
had a really strange Hearts career. I mean, considering he's born and bred in Leith, to then
Yeah.
play for Hearts,
Did he win the Scottish Cup with St Johnstone?
Oh yes, get in there, Aberdeen! Come on!
Have they
What are you,
equalised?
Stevie McGrath?
What an end
Let's
to the
go.
podcast!
Come on. Sorry, what was that question? I
Did
got
Swanson
distracted there.
did Swanson win the Scottish Cup with St Johnstone?
No, Dundee United.
Oh, sorry, Dundee United.
It was Levein that had signed him, and he
Ah,
picked him up
okay.
from Berwick Rangers. Who were playing
Christ.
in the third division at the time.
He should have
He
fucking
played,
stayed there.
he played for United between 2008 and 2012. They moved on to Peterborough, Coventry, St Johnstone on loan, us, St Johnstone permanently, Hibs, back to St Johnstone, East Fife, and now plays for Cowdenbeath, in the loan league. So unbelievable. 37
Crazy.
years of age. 38 in December, a couple of days after Boxing Day, when hopefully we'll have beaten Hibernian.
Exactly. Hey, early birthday present, late Christmas present for you there.
That'll do all of us.
Yep,
Yes, please. Sign me up.
exactly. Well, let us know if you managed to get Danny Swanson and if you.
If you watch the Masters,
Oh yeah, was he good? Was he apparently
let us
really
know.
good? I didn't. So
No,
if
we weren't there. Don't care.
no, exactly. Who gives a shit? It's only Hearts here, and as I've always said with my
Correct.
knowledge in terms of trivia, it very much is always Hearts for me. But if you've enjoyed this episode, please let us know on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us a review. We've noticed like in the last 4 or 5 episodes a massive spike in reviews. Thank you for that. It's much appreciated, and it genuinely really does help. If you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Perth to Paisley on all forms of social media. perthtopaisley@gmail.com. If you want to fire us over an email, Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials, not watching anything to do with Danny Swanson and his ill fate Hearts spell at Adam T. Kendall.
That's absolutely fair. We will be back next week to discuss all the fallout from Europe, all the fallout from the Aberdeen game, and anything else that happens. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Come on, the Hearts! We're not on Blue Sky.